Hi everybody, welcome to my channel, Julianne Annette Art. I'm Julianne. Welcome to my very first video. On this channel I'm going to be sharing my coloring as well as drawing and painting and other arty things that I happen to do. I hope you'll join me. If this sounds like something that you might enjoy, I'd love it if you consider subscribing. So for today's video, I'm going to share with you my May completed pages, as well as my whips. This first whip is going to be one from May. The other ones are a little bit older. I'm still relatively new to adult coloring. You know, I had the obligatory Joanna Basford Lost Oceans book in 2017 or 2018, whenever it was that it came out. But all I had was dollar store markers, so that wasn't really fun to color with. And so I don't know what happened to it. I gave it away or something. Just rediscovered adult coloring at the beginning of 2024 because I was looking for watercolor pencils for doing art for my bathroom walls. I wanted to make pictures for my bathroom walls. And so I was looking for watercolor pencils. I have a set of little 12, well, they're not technically mine, they're my mother-in-law's, but they live with me at the moment. A little set of 12 watercolor pencils. In fact, I'm going to show you. This is what I did with them, just the little Faber-Castell school ones. And so, you know, I drew this little turtle because that's kind of what I wanted to do for my bathroom. Was like sea life images, right? So I drew the turtle and the octopus, and I'm super happy with how they turned out. Like, I love the colors in the octopus. I really am happy with the turtle. Played around with the colors a little bit. I love my little rainbow bird and the succulent. But it was only a 12 packet, so I needed more colors, right? But I did not want to get, I could not afford to get a big pack of Faber-Castells, and so I was looking for budget colored pencils. And you know how the YouTube rabbit hole goes when you start watching one video and it leads to another, and then the next thing I know, I am watching people creating absolute masterpieces in coloring books with colored pencils. And it was like, why didn't it ever occur to me that you could do that before? I don't know. I just thought, like, you had to draw your picture from the beginning, and if you're coloring in a coloring book, it's just like, you know, basic coloring. It didn't occur to me to actually treat it like art. So I was mind blown and thought, like, this is a community that I can really get into. So here I am. So let's get on with the video. This is, this was supposed to be completed for Mermay, but that did not happen. I only started it a couple of days ago, and I am not that fast yet, and I don't have that much time for coloring. I mean, I have a lot of time for coloring, but I'm really poor at managing my time. So this was supposed to be for Elm Colors Rainbow Mermaid prompt for her Mermay hashtags. I'm pretty happy with how she's looking, and I'm pretty happy with my little sea urchin shells there. But I'm going to prioritize finishing pretty quickly into June. And then these ones are a little bit older whips. This one, I don't have a whole lot of supplies. I started out with my 72 Arteza watercolor pencils that I originally was looking to order. And then I had the 126 Artix pencils, and I had a set of like maybe 20 alcohol markers from Sam's Club in Texas, like a year ago or something. I bought them. I'm Canadian, by the way, so anything that I can get in the States is like quite a big deal. And so it's really patchy. They're pretty awful markers. Like, they're worse than the cheapest ones that you can get on Amazon. And they don't have very good color selection. And you can see here I tried to blend a yellow with an aqua and it didn't work out very well. But this page is from Ava Brown's Country Scenes, I think it is, or Country Seasons maybe it's called, the 100 pages one from her Etsy shop. And so this was just playing around. I just wanted to experiment with basing with the alcohol markers and using colored pencil over top. So I wasn't trying to achieve anything extra, like it's just playing. It's just experimenting. This was never going to be a work of art, but I'm still going to finish it. I think it's a really cute picture. The next one is this Nino Kurtz PDF page, and I tried to do the bokeh background with my Arteza watercolor pencils, and it's A, really patchy, and B, I use this bluish green color here, and I don't think that goes. So I have to go over it again, and I'm not sure exactly how I should do that. Like, should I just try to color it in pencil and then activate it again, or should I try like putting the brush directly to the tip of the pencil to get the color a little more vibrant? If you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments. And I'm going to draw on a top for her eventually, but I kind of want to get the background sorted out first before I put that effort in. So that's that. So the next one is Mythographic Paradise by Fabiana Attanasio. This one, I absolutely love this page. I think I was starting it. I started it in March. It was supposed to be for a Cherry Blossoms hashtag in March, or a Blossom Tree hashtag in March, but that didn't happen. I'm not sure if I want to use acrylic paint on the sky and the mountain, or if I just want to do them in color pencil. But I kind of have a vision of a colorful sky, and I don't know if I can get the blends evenly on the sky with acrylic paint with all the little spaces and have it look like even. So I'll probably end up doing colored pencil on that. So there's that one. Next is Rooms of Wonder by Joanna Basford. This page here, I'm following a My Colorful Country Life color along for it. And I really love how hers looks, so I definitely want to carry on with it. It's just a matter of having the time to sit down in front of the video to watch it, instead of, you know, I like to kind of color while I'm listening to an audiobook, or, you know, do some sort of multitasking. And this one I'm kind of locked into the video and kind of pausing it as I go to make my colors, because she uses Prismacolors and I don't have Prismacolors. I'm using the Arctics, and so the colors, it takes a lot more layering and a lot more going over with the Arctics to achieve a similar look to the Prismacolors. Prismacolors obviously are superior. I don't have any yet, but they're tops of my list for when I upgrade supplies, or when I get new supplies. Prismacolors are the tops of my list. And then my last whip is this one in Kirby Rosen's Geomorphia. I used Brute Fooners for these ones. When I ordered the Brute Fooners, they kept breaking when I'd sharpen them. And so I ended up sending them back and getting the Color 180 in the red tin. and they're literally the exact same pencil. They have the same colors, the same color numbers. So I thought I'd have to just do my best to match up the colors, but it turns out I can use the exact same colors that I was using because the colors identical colors. So that's it for my whips. And then we'll get on with my let me just get them out of the way. We'll get on with my completed pages for me. So this one, Kirby Rosanis Kaleidomorphia. I know this image is also in his Mythomorphia book. So this one I based completely with pastels. I used the this one, the Krylon Workable Fixative. I don't know if you guys have any better suggestions, but it still feels really gritty. It feels like the pastel still wipes off on my fingers, although I'm not getting any color on it that I can see. But tell me in the comments below, what fixative do you use? And does it work? How well does it work? So anyway, I based the whole thing with there's like a single lone glitter here. I based the whole thing with soft pastels, and then I went over with I used a mixture of Chlormacron and Arctic's colored pencils. This is for Elm Colors Mermaid hashtag. I forget the name of the hashtag. So she had the weekly prompts. The first one was Jewel Tones, Pastels, Monochrome, and Rainbow. And so you can see the rainbow that I didn't get done, but this is the monochrome one, so I did finish this one. So I went, I looked up Caribbean coral reef fish to try to find all the right coloring for all the fish, because it is a challenge for me to think outside of the box and for me to do just like fantasy colors. I have a really literal thinking brain, and it's a challenge for me to try to switch to the more creative side, but it's something that I'm really working on, which is why I love coloring and playing with the colors and seeing what happens. And you know, if it messes up, that's okay, because I want to play with the color and play with the mediums and have fun with it. And so anyway, like I said, the whole thing is based with a soft pastel, and then mostly, I think it's mostly Arctic's pencils actually for the colors. It might even be, no, it's not entirely. I definitely used some of the Chlormacron for the light blue, but I don't know if I used anything from the Chlor 180 pack. And then I used white Posca for the bubbles in the foam, and for the little dots here, there's a little bit of white Posca on the swordfish here, just to really highlight that stripe he has. And it's really hard to see, but there is some glitter gel pen. I just have these little dollar store glitter gel pens. But in the jewels on his gauntlet and his staff, I put some glitter gel pen, and I assume that's where this one random glitter came from. Overall, I'm quite happy with him. I found it challenging to do the monochromatic look and have it look dimensional enough. I kept taking a picture of it and it would still look flat. And so then I would go deeper with the shading, and then I'd take another picture and it would still look flat. So I kept having to go back over it, and I think I would have liked to have still added more shading into the bubbles and stuff to make them look a little bit more dimensional, but I'm still pretty happy with it. The difference the white Posca made here was wow. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. When I do his other half here, I totally plan to do the same thing, like use the same colors for the basing, well, the same colors for the water, and make her monochromatic, but maybe in more of a greens tone, but still like very cohesive with this other page. So that's that one. Next we have this one here, from the Hannah Lynn Whimsy Girls from the Archives. This was for Jamie's Coloring Love Red Hair Blue Eyes hashtag, and look at her eyes. I'm really happy with how her eyes turned out. So I based almost all of her with alcohol marker. You can see here, like her skin and her hair and her shells and little star in her lips and her eyes are all based with the alcohol marker. It's a learning curve. Using the alcohol markers for basing is a learning curve. So I thought that I would use this color and that would be the highlight for her hair. But you can see it is not visible here at all, because once I started doing her hair, that color just wasn't suitable for the highlight and I didn't like it with it. So you can't even see the basing anyway for her hair. I think it's definitely a learning process for the alcohol marker and the basing, and trying to choose the right alcohol marker that can be the highlight color for the skin or for the item, and not just make it completely useless like this. I'm still learning Hannah Lynn's skin. I find that Hannah Lynn's skin is a little bit different because like just the style of her face is like these ones is fairly flat with just a small amount of shading, right? And some makeup. But I don't wear blush. I don't really wear makeup, but if I wear makeup, I only wear tiny, like I wear some on my eyes. But my cheeks, I blush so easily. So I don't add blush because my cheeks are pink enough. So I don't know how to add blush. It's just not something on my radar really. So I'm not comfortable adding blush to the faces, but I did try to do a little bit of the shading. But it takes practice. It takes practice. I see some people try to shade in a nose on Hannah Lynn's images, but I feel like her style isn't really conducive to shading in a nose. I think it looks better just kind of like it is, but I would like to get a little bit more shading than I do have here. And aside from the basing with alcohol markers, I think I used entirely colored pencils on here. I used a little bit of a water-based marker on the starfish. I'm not sure if you can see it there. I don't know. Just to get the little dotty texture of the starfish. And a little bit of Posca for her highlights on her eyes. But other than that, oh, and the highlights on the bubbles. And other than that, it's entirely alcohol marker and colored pencils. Next is this. Gave me such a headache. This Molly Harrison mermaid is from her Etsy shop, the 100 Grayscale Fantasy Images Volume 1. I find her grayscale images are really difficult because the grayscale is like taken from her watercolor images. And so the backgrounds are usually already have that watercolor texture. And it makes it quite a challenge to do the backgrounds. So I'm really happy with her tail, and I'm really happy with the, the little pillar here and the rocks. I do find my Artix colored pencils, they don't really cover like you can still see the gray. They don't really cover the gray super well. Even, like I have to go so dark for it to cover it. And, yeah. But hey, when I get Prismacolors, then I'll be great. I think something like a Prismacolor that just has that opacity to cover the gray will be better. But I might not color any more of hers, or her grayscales anyway, until I get myself some Prismacolors. I tried to do a watercolor background, and I didn't think about my light source, and I didn't think about, just how I wanted to do it. So I kind of did this big blob of purple here and this yellow halo here, and it was just a really big mess. And so I went over the whole thing. I drenched it with alcohol marker. And then I went over her hair with the alcohol marker as well. And so I recovered it, and then I had to repaint the moon just with white acrylic paint, and then I sponged a little on, and I put on some little pearlescent shimmery watercolor paint over it. I am satisfied with it. I had toyed with the idea of adding stars, but I also kind of just feel done with this. I don't love it. I don't hate it because I'm really happy with how she turned out, but I don't love the sky. So it is what it is. I did use gel pens, a metallic gel pen and glitter gel pen for her little arm jewelry and headband and stuff for the little knot in her bikini top. Overall, I'm still happy with the image. And I think I did recover the sky quite well, considering how it looked before. But it's not my favorite. But I'm so happy with how her tail looks. So that's that. And then we have, she was also for Elm Colors Mermaid Jewel Tones hashtag. And then we have this little one from Mariola Budak from her Etsy shop, the My Little Mermaids coloring book. I absolutely adore her. I think she's so cute. I love how she turned out. I based her outfit and her tail with the soft pastels. And I went in with, I think I only used Color colored pencils. Her hair, her skin, everything is Color colored pencils except the purple. The Color colored pencils that I had, they were all really violet, and it just didn't work, and it wasn't giving me the depth that I wanted. So this actually ended up being the Arteza watercolor pencils. And obviously, I didn't activate them, I just used them dry. But I ended up being really happy with how it turned out. The only downside to that is that I was planning on making this little watery surrounding her. I was planning to use soft pastels for it, but then once I finished doing the hair here, I realized I don't know if I can use the fixative over top of this without it activating it. So then I just ended up using the blue Faber-Castell watercolor pencil, and I don't know. to my eye, it looks quite blotchy. I don't think the camera picks it up quite as much, which is good, I suppose. But I'm still really, really happy with her. And then she just has a little bit of white Posca in her eyes. I'm still learning the eye highlights. I find that a little bit challenging. Yeah, that's her. And then I have 2 more to go. Let me zoom you in a little bit. Okay, so we have this one from Molly, from Hannah Lynn's Fantasy Faces Line Art in Grayscale, the pocket size. This was for Samway's Coloring Pink Hair, Pink Tail hashtag. Again, I based the tub, the claw feet, and her hair with alcohol marker. This time, I think I did much better with the hair, and I mostly shaded it with the alcohol marker. I just went in with a little bit of colored pencil, but I was pretty happy with that. The colors that I used for the tub were a little bit blotchier, but I was happy with how it came out once I went over that with colored pencil. Same with the claw feet. And then I used the white Posca for the water and the bubbles and her little eye highlight. When I was coloring the skin color with the alcohol marker, it really streaked over, like you can kind of see this line, and her eyelashes, and it made it really streaky up here, so that's why she ended up with eyeshadow. But so I think the eyeshadow was Arctic's colored pencils. The rest was Color. And then I had to go back over her eyelashes with the Staedtler fine liner because it was all removed and streaked from the alcohol marker. And then over her tail and the fins, I don't know if you can see the glitter, but I used a glitter gel pen. I don't know if you can see it there. I used a glitter gel pen on the tail. It's funny because when I first, you can see my shading there. You can see how poor the blend was. When I first did the alcohol marker basing, I thought I just screwed up this page. And then, I don't know if you can see the crease here. I had it on this little lap table, and it was sitting on an ottoman. And then my dog tried to jump on the ottoman and knocked the whole thing over. And then the page creased while the alcohol marker was still drying. And I thought it was just an absolute write-off. But I love her so much. I'm so happy with how it turned out. I think she might be my favorite of the month. This border is just some metallic, it's just called like a metal marker or something like that. It's not quite a paint pen. It has like a normal marker tip kind of thing. Like you don't have to pump it or anything like a paint pen. But it does get chunky. Like if you try to go back over the same spot, it gets chunky. So it's kind of weird. And my mother-in-law ordered them from Amazon. And then my last one is this one. And this was for Disney Meg's Disney Mandala Color Challenge. I forget what it's called. I'll try to remember to put it down at the bottom here somewhere. And so this one is using the Color colored pencils again. The background is done using the Faber-Castell red classic watercolor pencils. And they're little Ariels with little flounder narwhals, and I think it's adorable. I went over these stripes and the fins with a paint pen, just like a cheap Amazon paint pen. And And then I went over that with a nail polish, because my glitter markers, I have these glitter gel pens, but they're just from the dollar store, and they're not super glittery. And also I didn't have a color that really matched that. So I went over the little stars here with a metallic one, and it still didn't have the shine that I wanted, so I went over that with a nail polish as well. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I was pretty happy with their hair, although I think from it just also kind of looks like a little patchy. I don't know if you can really see the definition of the hair, but I'm pretty happy overall with how they turned out. I think that's it. That's all the pages. I would say my favorites for the month would be the Little Mermaid, Mariola Budek, and the little Hannah Lynn one that I thought was a total bust. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you for joining me. If you have enjoyed this video, please consider liking it, and I hope you'll join me next time. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day and be kind to yourself.